Alright guys, Dokkan time again, and today's how to build is I'm gonna try and make it quick for you because it is a free-to-play unit. Buoon. So he's an old kind of like, I think he was like in for one episode, maybe a couple pages in the manga, and a couple episodes in the anime. He's an old boss that Goku fights in the Red Ribbon Tower, for people that did not know who the heck Buoon was. But he's from the Dragon Ball saga. He's someone people probably don't know. So you can build him one of two ways. You can either, of course, go the full dodge route, which is 99.9% of what people are going to do, and that's fine. I just figured, I would kind of take it out of the way and say, because it's a free-to-play copy, it's a free-to-play unit, you should consider building two copies and make one more of an offensive one. And by offensive, I mean don't give him any dodge, just give him like full additional, give him the crits. And I'll explain why as we go through his kit real quick. He's pretty simple. Now, he is a Dragon Ball Saga unit, so he has very little options. He's only got like 2 categories, and he has no 200% leads. This guy has no 200% leads. He'll probably have some 170s and lower. But yeah, he's definitely not having any 200% leads. He's a free-to-play 50% support for Terrifying Conquerors. He does greatly raise his defense for 3 turns, though. That is something to remember. He also has a 50% chance to stun. Now he has Ki +2 attack and defense plus 240%. You would think that's a really good number. Reduces damage received by 50%. He's looking okay, right? Plus an additional attack plus 240%, and all enemies attack and defense minus 24% within the same turn after receiving an attack. That seems like a big, huge amount of numbers, doesn't it? After the character receives an attack 7 or more times in battle, the character's super attack will be sealed within the character's next attacking turn once only. And starting from that turn, damage reduction rate is minus 20%. So he actually loses part of his damage reduction. He doesn't gain. He goes from 50% to 30% damage reduction. And then after the character receives an attack 10 or more times in battle, the character will be stunned within the character's next attacking turn. So if you're familiar with the Metal Cooler from Dragon Ball Heroes, the same thing happens to him. Nullifies Ki Blast super attacks directed at the character if HP is 50% or more when receiving an attack. Pretty good. Pretty good. So the thing I really wanted to bring out on this guy was that Super Battle Road, Extreme Super Battle Road. He's only part of 2 categories. He's only part of Terrifying Conquerors and Dragon Ball Saga. As of right now, we do not have a Super Battle Road of any form for Dragon Ball Saga. But you can bet your tootie butt that eventually it will happen. We will eventually get a Dragon Ball Saga Super Battle Road, and this guy will not be too bad for that. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. Nullifying Ki Blast supers when your HP is 50% or more is nuts. And if you guys have played Super Battle Road recently, you know there's a lot of Ki Blast supers that come in at you. This guy could be very good for Dragon Ball Saga Super Battle Roads and Extreme Super Battle Roads in the very far off future. I'd say by the time we get a Super Battle Road, Extreme Super Battle Road, Dragon Ball Saga, this guy will have easy aid by that time. Maybe. So this guy has some potential if he ever easy A's. 50% damage reduction already. He's already greatly stacking defense. So, you have to take a certain amount of attacks to lose all these buffs and so forth. When you're in Super Battle Road, you have 3 fights that you go through. So when you go through 3 fights, that means he'll get hit and the enemy will lose 24% attack and defense. You throw him in slot 1, he's nullifying freaking all the Ki Blast supers that are coming at him. He's got 50% damage reduction. Let's go take a look at his stats right now. I mean, with 2 super attack effects, he's sitting at like 300k start of turn defense. Without that attack, though, he's only at 250. That's fine though, because 50% damage reduction. So no matter what, majority of Super Battle Roads and Extreme Super Battle Roads, most of the time the enemies are chucking out like 800k to 1 million supers. So you cut that in half and it's only 400k or 500k. He's already got 250 nearing 300k. You're only going to take like 100k, 200k at most on a super attack. If it's not if it's not a Ki Blast, because he's going to nullify the Ki Blast supers. So that means no matter what, he's tanking all of the normals. He's tanking all the normals, and he's going to be countering all the Ki Blast supers, and any ones that are not Ki Blast supers, he's tanking very well. So, I mean, maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit, but as like a Super Battle Road unit, I can see the worth. I can see the worth in the future. Mind you, once again, he's only part of 2 categories. So the most that you can take him in on is Terrifying Conquerors, Extreme Class only, and Dragon Ball Saga. It doesn't mean that, he couldn't be added to categories in the future, but I'd say it's pretty straightforward that obviously you want to take him with free-to-play units. LRP Loft, free-to-play. Technically, this King Piccolo... World Tournament units are always a weird thing for me. I don't count them as free-to-play units, but they're counted as free-to-play units. I mean, he even shares 4 links with freaking Majunior, man. I think that's just hilarious that he shares 4 links with Majunior. I think that's crazy. But anyways, yeah, so I just wanted to give the time, give Buoon a little bit more credit. If you're daring enough to take him into challenging content, by all means, make a full dodge build unit. But do take into consideration of the Super Battle Road potential in the future, of course, or maybe you're having trouble with the Extreme Super Battle Road for Terrifying Conquerors. This guy could help you. He could technically help you. So yeah, that's going to be it for the video, guys. Appreciate you all watching. Let me know how you decided to go about this. Are you going to make 2 copies of him, or are you just going to make a full dodge one and done? But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good day and a good night.